Hello everyone. Welcome welcome to a new game. And welcome back to my channel if you haven't already been here. So it's been 4 years since my last post. So it's been a bit. Yeah, so why have I came back? Well, basically, this new game is quite fun, and it's actually growing quite quickly on the charts on Roblox. It's nothing like huge, but it's like it's basically like if you've ever played Minus Haven, Mechanical Ascension, Minus Haven Plus, or Mechanical Ascension X, or even some of the other games like Mining Madness. Can't remember the other one. It's like Astral Excursion, I think. I don't remember. But like loads of different games, similar concept, different items, and we obviously I don't know where the game's gonna go. We've just got like what we've got at the minute. So basically, this is a free to play playthrough. I'm not gonna spend any money. Obviously, if you spend money on the game, that's up to you. There's obviously the the rich people shop, the very rich people shop. So if you want to buy all of this stuff and get free items for it and stuff, and obviously if you do this as well, like if you donate to the game, you get like a little upgrade. I mean, you can literally do this, but the more money you spend, the higher the tip jar value goes. Like you can also do this, and obviously if you're gonna macro, make sure you do this because you can be banned. Or as far as I've heard, anyways. Like, I don't actually know. But yeah, we're gonna head back to the base, and I'm gonna quickly show you something. So, in here is some decent settings that you can fiddle around with, and some of them for those who haven't played this before or any other games. Some of them that are quite nice to enable or disable is this one right here. You could, and this one I like to keep on because then you can actually click on an item and view it rather than just pressing on it and then having to place it down. You can actually see what it is in case you wanted to place it on this instead of this. Now this here is like if I place this on my base, it basically just means that it's going to grey out like the conveyor to say that I already have this on my base and I maybe don't need any more, especially if it's like a one-time use upgrade or something like that. But yeah, I don't know what the key is for consoles and mobile. I don't know where this would be on mobile, but you get the point. Now, blueprint clearing is another one. That's a good thing. If you have this on none, make sure you change this to overlapping, because then if you have both blueprints unlocked, because you cannot unlock this one yet at the time of this recording, of course. You cannot unlock the third one, so if you have these two, you can overlap them, so one can spawn here and another one can spawn there, whereas if you have none on, you can only load one. Or as far as I'm gathering. That's, yeah. Add these as well, because then you can actually quickly just do this and withdraw all items. Right, anyways, let's get straight into this, and I'll explain a little bit while we make a little bit of money. I will also be using codes. It's not cheating because it's free to use, it's free to play. So I'll quickly grab some codes and I'll redeem them so that everyone can see them at the same time. And I will actually, no, I'll put them in the description as well, so then you can just copy them if you're new to the game. Alright, so if you go to this bottom bit here, that's where you redeem codes. If you just press this, join the community, and then press OK. You have to favorite the game. Guys, come on. You could let me off with joining the group, man. Alright, so the first code is WeUp with a capital W and U. And obviously this gets us some decent cosmite for a start. The other code is beta that we've got here. There's obviously, this is just their time recorder, and so if you're watching this in future or whatever, this might not work. Obviously there'll be other codes in future. So yeah. Oh, these are pretty decent codes because these are like limited time items, which is great. So If you didn't see all of those, I will leave either a comment or in the description, or you can pause the video where I copy and paste them in. But you basically get some decent starter items from these. The only item I am going to use is the Carmite Dropper, which, by the way, like, see if you save up a little bit of money, this item is literally already better. And then this isn't that much better, it just goes a lot faster. So, yeah, I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Obviously, open your boxes whenever you feel like it. I'm going to speed through these boxes quickly and then show you what I got afterwards. So after all of that opening, I actually got kind of unlucky because I got two of these, one of these, and then a bunch of walls and other useless crap. But if you want to get some of these items and you have no boxes left, or you've went around and opened some boxes and got nothing from them, you can always go to this bit here in the store and buy them here. Now if you have this much Cosmite, if you genuinely need that much Cosmite, don't use it on this. It is literally as it says. And you can flush Cosmite down the toilet. Not kidding. I would recommend waiting to try and get this, but the things I'm missing is this, and this. And obviously I'll wait to get another one, or I'll open some boxes. Actually, hold on. Let's see if I can get one of them castles. I'll be back in a second and see if I get anything else. Okay, I haven't got anything else. I've stood around for a minute looking for boxes, and there's not really much else. So I'm just gonna get on with what I was gonna do. So we're basically just gonna go ahead and do this, and we'll start off. Wait, does this reach? If I do this, oh, perfect. So if you have two of these are multi-use, so it means you can use two. So place two in a row. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to place the pizza upgrader. Now, another fun little fact for those who are new or have just started and don't know this, if you click on this and press F or whatever button it is on console, you can actually view what the item does and what the times is and what the use limit is. So if you press on this, it shows that it's 2 and it does 1.5 times. This one's the same, 2.5 times. And then this one, obviously, it says at the bottom, sets yours on fire and will be destroyed in 5 seconds. And yeah, so we're just gonna stick this in here like so. And right just now, oh, I don't have enough yet. So we'll what I'll do is all of this stuff in here, like your conveyors, your teleporters, your walls, are all free. You don't have to pay for them, so you can use them in setups without paying for them, which is great. You don't need to have like a furnace set up. What we're going to do is I'm going to stick this here, and obviously minus Haven collab right here. Right, so this here is, you'll probably never ever use some of these upgraders again once you get to a certain point, but we're gonna just use them for now. So I'm gonna build a little star line, and we want, I believe it's on this side. Which one is it? So as you can see here, this one here has a two little bits. And you can only use this 3 times, no matter which side you pick. So you cannot have like 3 of them in a line going through pink, and then 3 of them in a line going through blue. It's either or. And obviously the blue downgrades it, so we don't want. Jesus, voice crack. My God, I'm like old. I don't get voice cracks. Right. So yeah, this will be useful, but you have to stand on it in order to power it to make it go to its maximum ability, which takes a little bit of time to do. But I'm gonna stand on it. It won't really do anything. Won't matter. I'll also grab these, but I won't use them yet. I'll explain why in a minute. And we could do this for a turn, and then the same with this. Right, give me a second. I'm gonna put together a little setup and I'll go over it in a second. Alright, so this is what I've came up with. So I'll explain it. I've kept this here because this is taller and I couldn't be bothered to have a ramp, so this just kind of appears. I've removed the like the conveyor that moved the ores to the side because, funny enough, I've got it at an angle where this just comes flying out anyways. So basically, if you have another upgrader that isn't the Carmite the Carmite dropper, you basically will need a conveyor here or over there. And essentially these go through the pink. This is a button. Obviously I need to press it. You have the two of these because you can use them twice. I have all of my shop upgraders that I've bought or unlocked. 2 flamethrowers and a ramp going into Nature's Grasp. If you don't have Nature's Grasp, obviously just upgrade the furnaces as you go. In my opinion, I would wait and maybe jump up 2 at a time, because obviously this is a ramped processor when you could maybe use this one instead, because this one might only be like 5 times. Yeah, it's 2 times more, but at the end of the day, like you could just wait. You could wait it out. Obviously, depending on when you start or where you are in the game, codes will be different. So just remember that because I'm getting lucky because I have these decent codes now, means at some point there might not be codes. But I would recommend running around opening boxes as well. But yeah, hopefully in future they will have a normal tutorial, so I won't have to do this kind of thing. But I'm just kind of trying to help out a couple people, and obviously just starting again on YouTube, because why not? So the next bit that I'm going to mention is looping, but we'll get to that later. I'll explain what to do in that situation. But in this bit here, we can use 4 of these. So at the moment, just for now, we are going to stick with just placing 4 of them. Obviously, I don't have enough for anything else at the minute. So we're going to then come back and multi-grab all of this stuff and place them like so. Gain a little bit more money until I can buy this. So I'll get that, and then we'll wait a little bit longer and I'll buy this, and then I'll come back. So yeah. Now, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to mention looping, especially like actually like talking about it fully in this video, because I'm going to try and get to my first life without doing so. Obviously I'll explain the importance behind it, but once you get to a certain life, looping doesn't really matter until you're a higher life. Okay? And I'll get to that part, but I kind of want to do this whole video just kind of like as a documenting what I'm doing, so that people know how to play and what to go for and how to do things. Now, obviously, it's not easy. It's not meant to be easy. It's meant to be difficult, actually. At the start, it's supposed to be a really long grind. So, at the end of the day, if anyone's like thinking that this game looks boring or it's too hard, it's not really that hard once you get the hang of it and you wrap your head around some things. So just keep that in mind. Now, the thing is, I actually might need to mention looping. That's quite a good point, actually. I just realised that we're only going up quite slow here. So I might build a setup quickly and then explain the whole looping situation and why it's important. So I'll be back. I'll have to see how much money I get after like waiting like 5 minutes, and then wait, hold on. Let me correct the setup quickly. Yes, much better. Spam upgraders. Yeah, but no. Obviously, I mean, you could get lucky by getting some of these boxes, by the way, and obviously now as well, I can obviously afford this one as well, so I will buy this. But yeah, going back to the thing, I am just waiting a little bit, so that when it comes to when it comes to this whole setup, I can basically explain the whole looping process together. So yeah, let me run back the setup, and yeah, I'll be back once it's all done. Alright, so I'm back, and this is the setup that I've created, and yeah, let's go through it quickly. So I've got my mine over here. Obviously, you'll probably have a row of mines by this point. So whether it be silver, obviously these ones are better than Carmite, by the way, because Carmite's only $4.2 dollars. It's just I'm using it because it's fast. It's the only reason. It drops a lot of ores. Now these I've put it right at the start before it goes into the main loop, because this right here is it only adds +5, and obviously with it being such little money, +5 is like nothing when you add this here, because this caps at $1,000. Once it's looped, it goes up to $1,000, and then what this does here is if we press on this, this value needs to be greater than 1,000, and if it's 1,000 or higher, it will go through here. And obviously sometimes it will just jump up a little bit above 1,000 on the last upgrade, meaning it will then go through the upgrader, up through the teleporter, and then into this section. In this section, what I've done is everything that can be used more than once, I've used in this loop. So instead of using 4, I've used 2 of these. These I've dotted around so that there's more of them, because I can use them up to 16 times, which once you've done 2 or 3 loops, it's up there. This you can use twice. This you can use twice. These you can use twice of each. So instead of just like they're on the same tag, you can use this twice and this twice. So it's not like I'm losing out any money there. So we're gaining a lot of money from this. This we can use 3 times, and obviously after it loops all the way around and gets up to the maximum value, it's been used fully. Now the maximum value I've got out of this, obviously without using a better like upgrader, or sorry, not upgrader, dropper, is 315,000. So that's what I've tagged this at, and it needs to be greater than 315,000. So some of them are like slightly higher, or just over the 315 mark. So, and then I've just put every other upgrader that I've unlocked so far in here, and that's that. Now the thing is, obviously now that we've got a little bit more money, I can add on a new loop. So let me quickly make the next loop, and I will explain everything there. So this is the setup now. So basically, a lot's changed. Well, so basically going back to this little loop, again, this is 1,000, caps at 1,000, goes into here. Now this little thing right here is 5,000, because these cap at 5,000 unless you upgrade the skill tree in here, which we'll get to probably in another video. We'll talk about it in that. Now in here, this then goes, this is 5,000, then goes into here, and then this loops all the way through here. And obviously just check the cache, like set this to a value that's way higher than the thing. Like you can literally set it to like something ridiculous by just doing like, if you type 1.00e plus 40, it sets it to a value where like nothing that you put in this loop will be able to be that value. So basically what that means is you can actually, once everything's been through, you can actually see the final value of said items. So now, obviously before, it was 1.6 million was the most I was getting from this. Now after I've added these items, because I didn't have these items in the loop prior, and by the way, before anybody says anything about this being a one-use upgrader, this is an exception upgrader. It's allowed to be here, okay? I do it in my loop in like late game, so it's staying. It can stay there, it's fine. So as we can see, the cap and value out on mine is 153 million. So then we just change the value back to 153M, right? Because you can do that. Don't put a hashtag next to it, and then press enter, and it will start going through the setup. Now I swapped out my processor from the Nature's Grasp to this processor because it was a little bit more powerful than 2 times. I am forgetting my flamethrowers though, which is like an ouch. So now, finally, what we're going to do quickly is just expand this loop out a little tiny bit longer and stick this. Oh, wait, no. Oh, that's so sad. Balls. Right, hold on. Let me readjust this quickly. Don't worry about the ores coming down. That's fine. Right, hold on. What we'll do is we'll have this be like that, that go there, and then have this turn that way. And then we'll set this here. And then we'll readjust this like that, so then these are all still together. Yeah, put that there. And then we'll save this for like near last. What else can we afford to put on here now? Right, so we can afford these, but these are going to be very awkward to put in. Right, give me a second. I'm going to adjust it so that they actually all fit. Alright, so back with the setup. This is what I've done to adjust it. And I've stuck some of, if you can have a look over here, you can see the portable short beams are over there as well on the sides and stuff. And they're all getting upgraded, so that's great. Now let's see how much are we getting from this. 9.5 billion. That's pretty good. It's not bad. Oh wait, so it's literally right below. Crap. Okay, so in that case, when it doesn't move, just do 9.48 billion, and it will eventually, most of the ores will go through. So we're nearly there. We're nearly to the first reincarnation. And obviously, this is a lot of items. You're probably not going to be able to get this all saved. You're going to have to do all of this again next reincarnation, which is sad, but it's okay. Right. So at this point, we're mainly just after a bunch of little upgrades so we can dot in different places to finish off the setup until we've like reincarnated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of this stuff here and adjust this just a little bit long so that I can fit 3 of these 100 trillion things, these things here. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go for it because I know what I'll probably pronounce it wrong. Now later on we're going to be using this because this is another looping upgrader. And yeah, we're just going to quickly adjust this bit of the setup a little bit. So what we're going to do is I'm going to stick this here and a couple of these on here. I know that like they multiple use for anybody who knows what I'm on about. And obviously, for anyone who's looked at the tags, yes, it's multiple use, I know. But I'm going to wait until I can reincarnate. And then we're good. We can just crack on with the next life and get on with the next episode. Yeah, let's see if we get anything good out of this box. Wow, so the thing I bought going back not so long ago, like about an hour ago, we're not going to talk about that? No? Okay, cool. Wow, unreal. Man, honestly. So we're nearly there. Well, this run will get us there. So yeah, pretty good. There we go. That's it. And then be reincarnate, and I'm pretty sure the only thing I can get is that. So yeah, there we go. That's it. And that's how simple it is. Now obviously we didn't get the first upgrade, which was 1 QN. We could have waited for 1 QN and then unlock the upgrade tree. But it is what it is. We'll definitely have to get QN next time. So, but instead, I got a rock. So, yeah, we need 10 QN next time, so we'll definitely be getting it then. So yeah, I'm gonna head off. I hope you guys have enjoyed. This has been a little bit of a longer episode than I would have liked it to be, but obviously these episodes are probably going to be longer, probably up to 30, if not 40 minutes. Just basically to kind of explain the early stages of reincarnating, and then once we get to life, probably life 10, and past that point, I'll just start skipping a couple of lives in between them, and then going on and explaining more about High Alive and different things. And then I might actually just jump straight back to my main account, which is like Ascension 7, sorry. So at the time of this anyways. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that for now. We're going to jump into the next video. We're going to jump straight into how to optimize, obviously, this thing here. And yeah, I mean, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.